What's up, YouTube? Samurai Jack here with Zendikar Rising stuff. Now that Zendikar Rising hasn't been released. This time around, it is going to be both openings, not parts, like I did with Ikoria, because there was a delay with the order at my friend's shop. Anyways, let's get this started. And for those wondering, I did download the Samurai Jack game. I am going to eventually start playing and recording it. It's just been really busy with work and life in general. Which you'd think would kind of be okay given the pandemic, cutting some time to do. But of course, the Zendikar Rising Expedition box topper could be either a fetch land, the Battlebond lands, or a Cavern of Souls Ancient Tomb. Box topper is... Oh, yes! Cavern of Souls! When it enters, choose a creature type. Either add colorless or add mana of any color. Spend the mana to cast a creature spell of the chosen type. It can be countered. I am playing this in my dinosaur deck after this video. Woo-wee! Though I am also curious with the Zendikar Rising Collector box that if I can beat the apparent record of 4 non-box topper expedition lands. Because from my friend when I got them at his shop, the current record of expeditions lands opened in a single one is 4. Can we go 4 or go beyond plus ultra for 5? Though at least given the last couple, the rare's going to be the first thing. Cleric of Chill Depths foil. Ooh, and we're off to a good start. The Nighthawk Scavenger. Basically, Vampire Nighthawk 2.0 when you add Tarmogoyf to the mix. A 1+ star power, 3 toughness, flying death touch lifelink with its power being equal to 1 plus the number of card types among cards in opponents' graveyards. So if Delirium is still a thing in Modern, but of course it is going to be a powerhouse in Standard because again, it is a flying Tarmogoyf. I mean, granted, the obvious weakness is just Lightning Strike or Lightning Bolt. But yeah, I'm already happy so far. I got that Cavern of Souls, like... Alright. Serial Bow Island 2.0. Kargan Intimidator. 1 in red for Cowards Can't Block Warriors. And 1 to choose one to either give the Intimidator +1/+1, target creature becoming a coward, or target warrior gaining trample. Pretty good in EDH, because I swear there's the giant that has the similar effect. Azul's Fury. Thwart the Grave. Oh, I just ult. Ooh, a foil Showcase Spitfire Legic. 3/4, 3 in a red for a lizard with landfall that deals 1 damage to each opponent when a land enters. Ooh, and Coveted Prize. 4 in a black that costs 1 less for each creature in the party, which again is Cleric, Rogue, Warrior, or Wizard on your side of the field. Search your library for a card, put it to hand, then shuffle. If you have a full party, you may cast a spell with converted mana cost 4 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. So similar to the expertise cycles. Not bad. Construct token. Mountain. The Master of Winds. 2 and 2 blue for a 1/4 Sphinx Wizard. When it enters, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. Whenever you cast an instant, sorcery, or wizard spell, you can basically swap its power and toughness. Colony Ambush, Skyclave, Acquisitions Expert. Showcase Dreadworm. But yeah, I did attend a pre-release and did manage to get Nahiri. But don't worry, it was just a small party of just me and 3 other people. Drake token, Forest, turn to aesthetic. Ooh, first mythic of the box, the Forsaken Monument. 5 mana for a legendary artifact that gives colorless creatures +2/+2, tapping colorless mana to add an additional, and gaining 2 life from casting colorless spells. Gonna be a mainstay in Eldrazi Commander decks or Eldrazi decks in general. Malkia Rebirth, Tony Average, Mind Carver. So, in terms of mythics, I would personally hope to get Lithoform Engine, Golgari Nissa, maybe the Jace, and the new legendary Drana. Omnath would be a nice surprise. Ooh, Skyclave Relic. Nice. 3 mana costed artifact with a kicker cost of 3 that is indestructible. And when it enters, if it was kicked, create 2 tap tokens of the relic that can add 1 mana of any color. Akum Warrior, Miri Captain, Roost the Drakes. Akum Hellhound. Tajuru Paragon, 1 and a green for an elf that can also count. That is also a cleric, rogue, warrior, and wizard. Kick cost 3. Additional. When it enters, if it was kicked, reveal top 6 cards of your library. You may put a card that shares a creature type with it from among them into the hand. Puts rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. And also Veteran Explorer that also has the same top, but it also costs 1 less for each creature in your party. Before we go any further, let me just do one thing, because it is a Cavern of Souls. And maybe the Forsaken Monument too. Don't worry, they're just from cards I bought a while ago. That's why there's the $1 on the sleeve. Construct token, Forest. The Archon of Emeria, 2 and a white for a 2/3 Archon with flying that each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn, non-basics, and are untapped. Truly the Bane if my friend has this in his Audric deck. I mean, he's also got Drannith Magistrate. But basically it would be bad if I play my Narset's deck against him, and he does have the Archon. Myriad Construct. 4 mana for a artifact creature construct with a cost of 3. If it was kicked, enters the battlefield with 1 counter for each non-basic land your opponents control. When it becomes the target of a spell, sacrifice it and create a number of 1/1 colorless artifact construct artifact creatures equal to its power. So basically Hangerback Walker, but with kicker. Foil Marasa Rootgrazer. Ooh, second mythic. Seagate Restoration. 4 and 3 blue for the sorcery that lets you draw cards equal to the number of cards in your hand plus 1. Have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. But it can also turn into Seagate Reborn. When it enters the battlefield, you may pay 3 life if you don't enter in tapped. But yeah, first the shock lands, now we have new bolt lands. One-Mage Dominion, Familiar, and the Vastwood Search. Ooh, we got the copy token for the Jace. Sign of the Swarm. Inscription of Ruin. 2 and a black for sorcery with an additional kicker cost of 2 and 2 black to choose one, but if it was kicked, choose any number instead. With the options being to have opponent discard 2 cards, return target creature card with converted mana cost 2 or less from graveyard to the battlefield, or dang, I forgot the card. Abrupt Decay, that's it. Abrupt Decay, effect of destroy target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less. Relic Robber. An interesting card for my friend's Goblin deck. The 2 and a red for a 2/2 Goblin Rogue that whenever it deals combat damage to a player, that player creates a 0/1 colorless Goblin construct artifact creature token that can't block, and it deals 1 damage to you. Churix, Raging Isle. 2 and 2 blue for the legendary Leviathan Crab. That spells your opponent's cast at target Churix costs 2 more to cast. You can also pay 3 to give it plus X minus X, with X being the number of islands you control. A pretty interesting mono blue commander. Ooh, and the Territorial Skycatch Showcase. Though, if anything, just realized maybe the showcase in here would be nice. Oh, foil Tijuru Paragon. An undo inner inversion. 6 and 2 white to destroy all non-land permanents. Or to turn it to a white... Turn it to a land that adds white mana. Spiraling. Goma, Fada Vanguard. Quirk of Life spawned. Guldra's Mucklord, and Emerius Call. 4 and 3 white for a sorcery that creates 2 4/4 white angel warrior tokens with flying. Kind of used to angels, just plain angels. I am curious what the tokens look like. Non-angel creatures gain indestructible until your next turn. That can also turn into basically the white version to Emeria's Shattered Skyclave that you can pay 3 life to not have it enter tapped to get mana. Surely, but yeah, I think I might add these to Narset Master, or if you are making a Narset Line Master, because if you draw them early at the beginning of the game, you can turn them into lands. Not exactly sure how you can return them to your hand. Unless you have some way... Well, there is the Hammer from Battle for Zendikar. A unique combo there. Oh, snap! We got Jace Mirror Mage. 1 and 2 blue for Jace, with a kicker cost of 2. When he enters the battlefield, if Jace was kicked, create the token copy of Jace Mirror Mage. Except it's non-legendary and has the starting loyalty of 1. So basically, if you... So yeah, either make a blue-white or band deck with Parallel Lives and Annoying Procession, you can have a lot. By my calculations, you can probably have 3 additional token copies. Counting the first one. Anyways, the +1 is scry 2, and 0 is to draw a card and review it. Then remove a number of loyalty counters equal to the converted mana cost from Jace Mirror Mage. Makandi Stampede, Religon. Merfolk Windrobber. Ooh, Showcase Phylath, World Sculptor. Though, to be honest, I kind of like the normal art, because I guess adding a face to an elemental, uncanny valley, but at least when you look at it a certain way, it does kind of look like Groot. Anyways, 4 red and a green for the legendary elemental. When it enters, create a plant token for each basic land you control. So obviously no shock, downgraded version of Avenger of Zendikar. Landfall is also a downgrade similarity, where when a land enters, put 4 lone counters on a plant you control. Though obviously, if you want to do a commander deck, add Avenger of Zendikar. Disruption, Soaring Thought Thief. Huh. Didn't know the Buy a Box promo was also a possibility. Thought they were supposed to be, unique. Like the ones before, like Ren and Siri and Tezzeret Master of the Bridge. But yeah, I did get the Buy a Box promo. because it's, you know. But that surprise aside, 2 and a Orzhov of white black for a 3/3 legendary core cleric with lifelink. Whenever Aura or another cleric you control dies, return target cleric card with lesser converted mana cost from your graveyard to the battlefield. Though, as discussed on the game nights, previews of Aura, not exactly good when trying to do that one cleric that can have multiples of itself, bypassing the 1 card per deck in a cleric tribal. The Inscription of Abundance. 1 and a green with a cost of 2 and a green. Choose one. If kicked, choose any instead. So either put 2/1/1 counters on a creature. Target player gaining X life, where X is the greatest power among creatures they control. Or target creature fights target creature you don't control. Skyclave GOP to showcase art. The Skyclave Shade, 1 and a black for a 3/1 shade, with a kicker of 2 and a black that can't block. If it was kicked, it enters with 2 additional counters on it. But with landfall, return Skyclave from the... You may cast it from the graveyard. So a downgraded Bloodghast. Interesting. We get the Zendikar Rising Insect token. Foil C4 Stalker. Ooh! Ancient Green Warden! 4 and 2 green for a 5/7 elemental with reach that lets you play cards from your graveyard. And a land entering the battlefield causes a trigger ability of a opponent you control to trigger. That ability triggers in additional time. So Yark or landfall decks in general. Or both. Oh, hey, the Angel Warrior token. Craigweight Baloth. 5 and 2 green for a 6/6 with kicker 2 and a green. That can be countered. Hexproof Haste. If it was kicked, enters with 4/1 counters. Fearless Fledglings showcase art. And Prowling Feldar art. The 1/1 cat token. Foil Dreadworm. And Verazol, the Split Current, X in green blue. That enters with 1/1 counter on it for each mana spent to cast it. Whenever you cast a kick spell, you may remove 2 of the counters and copy that spell and choose new targets. Block of Predation, Skyquake, Shadowcat. Ooh, and Ruin Crab. Basically, modern deck. There is gonna be a new modern deck meta involving having crabs. I sure hope they have the right shampoo for it. Skull Shatter Charger. 1/2 reds for a 4/3 giant warrior with kicker of 2, trample and haste. If it was kick and there's with a 1/1 counter on it, at the end step, if the charger doesn't have a 1/1 counter on it, return to owner's hand. Confounding Conundrum. 1 in blue. When it enters, draw a card. Whenever a land enters under an opponent's control, if they had another land enter, they return a land they control to owner hand. Another crab. Foil and Miri Captain. Maddening Cacophony. 1 in blue and a kicker of 3 in a blue to either have each opponent mill 8 cards or mill half their deck. Very dangerous with the Jumpstart Grandiloquent. Lunarch Aspirant. 1 white for a 1/1 human quirk that at the beginning of combat on your turn put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. That will get recovery. Oh wait, the Goblin Construct token. Linvala, Shield of Seagate. 1 white and a blue for the 3/3 Angel Wizard. That at the beginning of combat on your turn, if you have a full party, choose target non-land permanent an opponent controls until your next turn. It can attack or block, or have its activated abilities activated. Sacrifice the Linvala to choose either Hexproof or Indestructible, and your creatures get that. Foil, Black Bloom Rogue, and Zareth-san, the Trickster. 3 blue and black for the legendary Merfolk Rogue, with Flash, and Pseudo Ninjutsu, but for rogues only. For 2 and Dimir to return an unblocked attacking rogue you control to its hand, then put Zareth from your hand onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. When he deals combat damage to a player, you may put target permanent card from player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. But you know, rest in peace, Zareth. If you are keeping up with the lore from either reading the articles or from Ether Hub or from Spice Adrax videos. And eventually Magic Arcanum to do when the story is complete. So for like I'm guessing we get the first of the flip lands. But it's full art. So I can either Bright Climb Pathway to either make white mana or the Grim Climb Pathway to make black mana. Well, that exploded from my hands. But hey, I got a foil island and a boulder with pathway that can turn into the green one. Oh, the 0-1 plants. Ooh, interesting. Foil river guide pathway into lava glide pathway. And an Orion Reef ooze. Two in a green for an ooze that when it enters, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. And when it attacks, put a 1/1 counter on each attacking creature with a 1/1 counter on it. Tabarex, Hope's Disciple. 2 and a black for the legendary demon 2/2 demon cleric that has lifelink as long as you can get 5 1/1 counters on it. Whenever a non-token creature dies, put a 1/1 counter on Tabarex. If it was a cleric, you may draw a card, but at the cost of 1 life. Final 3. Will I get Drana or Golgari Nissa? Or Ashaya? Can't forget about Ashaya. I mean, as long as... Let's see. Neverledge Pathway or the Pillar Verge Pathway. So if you're overflooded in red mana in your Boros deck, just switch it to the other side. Skyfwave Pickaxe Showcase. If you made it this far into the video, I wouldn't mind though like to know that people actually do enjoy the content. Ooh, Angel of Destiny. 3 and 2 white for the 2/6 flying double strike angel cleric that whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you and that player each gain that much life. At the beginning of your end step, if you have 15 more life than you're starting, each player Angel of Destiny attacks this turn loses the game automatically. But actually, I guess it is going to have to be a 2-parter because it turns out the battery on my camera is going to die. So on this last pack, I will see you on the next part. Valakut Exploration, what a way to end. Okay, bye. Other project in the future.